The large ship Destiny's Path moved slowly at the edge of the Sol system. Captain Deho stood tall on the bridge, his blue skin reflecting the stars on the main screen. He was leading the first official visit to Earth in over 300 years. "We are entering the outer boundary of the Sol system, Captain," said Pilot Yun as he guided the ship. His 6 fingers tapped quickly on the control panel. Captain Deho nodded. "Very good. Slow to half speed. Let's be careful here." Everyone in the galaxy knew about humans. They were the mystery that no one could solve. 500,000 years ago, humans had built ships and spread to nearby stars. They traded with the few alien races they met. Then, without warning, they vanished. Their colonies were found empty. Their ships disappeared. Earth, their home planet, fell silent. Now the Galactic Alliance sent ships every few hundred years to check on the system. No one expected to find anything new. "Captain, I'm picking up something strange," said Science Officer Suji. Her large eyes blinked rapidly as she looked at her screen. "There are energy readings near Earth. Strong ones." Deho walked to her station. "That's not possible. Nothing should be active after so long." "The readings are clear, sir. Something is still running in Earth orbit. Something big." The bridge grew quiet. The crew of 20 different alien species all looked at each other. "Show me," Deho ordered. The main screen changed to show the blue planet Earth. Around it was a thin ring of light, a perfect circle that wrapped the whole planet. "Magnify," he said. The image zoomed in. The ring wasn't solid. It was made of thousands of stations and platforms, all connected. Lights blinked across its surface. Small objects moved along it. "It's still working," whispered Tau, the ship's historian. "After 500,000 years, their orbital system is still working." "How is that possible?" asked Security Chief Jaehoon. "No power source lasts that long. No computer system runs that long without failing." Suji shook her head. "I don't know, but these readings suggest the technology is far more advanced than what we thought humans had. It's more advanced than what we have now." Captain Deho straightened his uniform. "Move us closer, but slowly. I want constant scans." As they approached Earth, more details became clear. The ring was a defense system. They could see weapon platforms and sensor arrays, all still working, all still watching. "Captain," called Suji suddenly, "something is moving behind Mars. Something big." The red planet Mars slid away on the screen, revealing what was hiding behind it. A massive black ship, sleek and silent. It was unlike any design they had seen before. "Scan it," ordered Deho, his voice tight. "I can't," said Suji. "Our scans don't penetrate it. It's like it's absorbing them." The black ship moved toward them, faster than anything its size should move. In seconds, it was alongside the Destiny's Path *. "No engines I can detect," said Engineer Minho. "No heat signature. No radiation. I don't understand how it's moving." A light flashed on the communication panel. "Captain, we're receiving a transmission," said Communications Officer Kyung. "It's in perfect standard galactic. How would they know our language?" Deho took a deep breath. "Put it through." A calm, clear voice filled the bridge. "Attention vessel approaching Earth space. This is Guardian Protocol Alpha of the Earth Defense Network. Your ship has been identified as non-human in origin. State your purpose or you will be removed from this system." The crew looked at each other in shock. The defense system was not only working, it was thinking and talking. After 500,000 years, Earth was still defended. And something was still there, waiting. Captain Deho gripped the arms of his command chair. The black ship hung in space before them, waiting for an answer. "This is Captain Deho of the Galactic Alliance vessel Destiny's Path *. We are on a peaceful mission to study Earth," he said, trying to keep his voice steady. There was a pause. Then the voice returned. "Alliance? This designation is not in our records. The last known galactic body was the Mutual Defense Pact of 2789. The bridge crew looked at each other. That name was from history books, an alliance that existed 450,000 years ago. The Mutual Defense Pact evolved into the Galactic Alliance over time, explained Daho. We are here on an archaeological study mission only. Another pause. Scan confirms your weapon systems are minimal. You may proceed to coordinates being sent to your ship, Captain Daho. Do not deviate, or you will be destroyed. The transmission ended. Numbers appeared on their navigation screen. Those coordinates lead to a station in Earth orbit, said Pilot Yun. Do we follow them, Captain? Asked Security Chief Jae-hoon. This could be a trap. Daho thought for a moment. If they wanted to destroy us, they could have done it already. Take us to the coordinates, but be ready to jump out if needed. The Destiny's Path moved forward slowly. The black ship followed them, keeping the same distance behind. As they approached Earth, they got a better view of the ring around the planet. It wasn't just one ring, but many layers of stations, satellites, and platforms. Some were small, others massive. All were connected by beams of light. The technology we're seeing is impossible, said Science Officer Suji, staring at her readings. Some of these structures are using materials we don't even recognize. The ship's historian, Tawu, spoke up. The records say humans had just discovered faster-than-light travel when they disappeared. This is far beyond that level. Then either the records are wrong, or something else has been building here for 500,000 years, said Daho. They arrived at the coordinates, a large station shaped like a wheel. It was spinning slowly, creating gravity inside. Unlike the other structures, this one looked like it could be from human times. It had old-style solar panels and metal plates. We're being scanned, reported Engineer Minho. A new voice came through the speakers. This one sounded different, more human-like. Destiny's Path. This is Earth Station Alpha. Our records indicate no contact with non-human vessels for 497,342 years. Please confirm your species types and purpose. Station Alpha. We are a research vessel with multiple species aboard. Our mission is archaeological study of Earth, replied Daho. Are there any humans in your crew? The question surprised everyone. No, answered Daho. Humans haven't been seen in the galaxy for 500,000 years. We believe they were extinct. The silence that followed lasted almost a minute. Request permission to send a small team to your vessel for direct communication, the station finally said. Jae-hoon shook his head. Captain, I advise against this. But Daho knew this was too important. We accept. You may send 3 representatives. Preparing docking tube. Stand by. A long, flexible tunnel extended from the station toward their ship. It connected with their airlock with a soft thud. Captain, said Sujay suddenly, her voice shaking. I'm detecting life signs coming through that tube. But they're strange. Not fully organic. What do you mean? Asked Daho. I don't know how to explain it, she said. They're alive, but also machine. The airlock door began to cycle open. Everyone turned to watch. Captain, whispered Communications Officer Kyung. What if humans didn't disappear? What if they changed into something else? The inner door slid open, revealing 3 tall figures in sleek white armor. Captain Daho, said the middle figure in a clear voice. I am Guardian Han. Welcome to Earth. The 3 figures in white armor stood in the airlock. Their faces were hidden behind smooth masks that reflected the light. They were tall, almost as tall as Captain Daho, and they moved with strange grace. I must speak with your leaders, said Guardian Han. His voice was calm but firm. Daho stepped forward. I am the captain of this vessel. You can speak with me. Han tilted his head slightly. Very well. We have much to discuss. Will you come to the station? We have prepared a meeting room. After a quick talk with his officers, Daho agreed. He would go with Science Officer Sujai and Security Chief Ji-hoon. "This is unwise," said Ji-hoon quietly as they walked through the docking tube. "We know nothing about them." "We came to learn," said Daho. "Now we have a chance." The inside of the station was clean and bright. The walls glowed with soft blue light. Small robots moved along the floors and walls, fixing tiny problems and cleaning. Everything looked new, not 500,000 years old. Han led them to a large round room. In the center was a table with chairs around it. The three guardians stood on one side. "Please sit," said Han. When they did, Han reached up and removed his helmet. The aliens gasped. Han looked almost human, but his skin had a slight silver tone, and tiny lights blinked beneath it. His eyes were deep blue and seemed to glow from within. "You are surprised by my appearance," said Han. "We expected machines," said Suja. "Not something so human-like." Han smiled. "I am both machine and human. What you see is a body created to interact with visitors. My true self is more complex." "What are you?" asked Daho. "I am what humans became," said Han, "or part of it. When humans reached a certain level of technology, they faced a choice: stay as they were or change into something new. They chose to change." Han waved his hand, and the center of the table opened. A beam of light shot up, forming a large 3D image of the galaxy. "Humans didn't die out," Han continued. "They ascended. They merged with their technology and evolved into a new state of being." The image zoomed in on Earth, showing it over time. They watched as cities grew, then were covered by green forests and blue oceans as people disappeared. Before they left this form, they created us, the Guardians. We were to protect Earth and remember what humans were. We are part human memory, part machine, part new growth. "Left to where?" asked Suji. Han pointed to the image. Small dots of light moved from Earth outward, but not through normal space. They went somewhere else, to a plane of existence beyond the physical. They evolved beyond bodies, beyond ships, beyond the limits of matter. Han's eyes seemed sad. "I cannot follow. I was made to stay and remember." "For 500,000 years?" Ji-hoon asked in disbelief. "Time is different for me," said Han. "I sleep. I wake when needed. I maintain the systems. I wait." "Wait for what?" asked Daho. Han looked at him directly. "For their return, or for the threat they saw coming." The image changed to show strange ships, black and twisted, moving toward the galaxy from far away. "What is that?" whispered Suji. "The harvesters," said Han. "Long ago, humans discovered evidence of them. A race that moves from galaxy to galaxy, taking all advanced life. Humans knew they would come here eventually." "Is that why they left?" "Fear?" asked Ji-hoon. "No," said Han firmly. "They ascended because it was their destiny. But they left us, the Guardian fleet, to protect what remains. The defense ring, the hidden ships, the weapons platforms, all preparing, growing, evolving for 500,000 years." Han stood up straighter, and now the harvesters approach. "According to our calculations, they will reach this galaxy within 50 years. The three aliens stared at the image in shock. "We need your help," said Han. "The time has come to awaken the full Guardian fleet." Captain Daho stared at the image of the approaching harvester ships. They looked like dark clouds with sharp edges, unlike any ships he had ever seen. 50 years?" he asked. "You're sure?" Han nodded. "We have been tracking them for 300,000 years. Our calculations are exact." "Why have we never heard of these harvesters?" asked Ji-hoon. "The Galactic Alliance has maps of all known species. They come from outside this galaxy," said Han. "They visit once every few million years. The last time they came was 65 million years ago." Suji gasped. That's when the great extinction happened on Earth, when the large animals died. Yes, said Han. Humans found proof in old rocks. The harvesters tested Earth then, but found nothing worth taking. Now they will find many advanced worlds. Han waved his hand, and the image changed. Now they could see the Sol system, with hundreds of small dots moving around it. This is the Guardian fleet, said Han. What you can see of it. It's smaller than I expected, said Ji-hoon. Han smiled. This is just what we allow to be seen. The true fleet exists in fold space, a place between normal dimensions. We keep most ships there until needed. The image zoomed out to show a much larger fleet hidden in what looked like pockets of bent space around the system. Over 500,000 years, our ships have evolved, continued Han. They repair themselves, they upgrade themselves, they learn and grow. Some are now so advanced that they don't look like ships anymore. The image showed different types of vessels. Some looked like normal ships. Others were strange shapes that seemed to shift and change as they watched. A few were just balls of light. The early ships were built by humans, said Han. The newer ones were designed by the ships themselves, each generation smarter than the last. This technology, whispered Suje, it's beyond anything in the Alliance. Humans gave us one job, to protect all life in this galaxy from the harvesters, said Han. We have had 500,000 years to prepare, but now we face a problem. What problem? Asked Daho. The final defense system requires activation, said Han. The humans created a failsafe. The full fleet cannot wake without approval from both guardians and living beings from the galaxy. Why? Asked Ji-hoon. To ensure we never acted without good reason, said Han. To make sure we remembered what we were protecting. Han looked at each of them. Your arrival is fortunate. We need representatives from current galactic species to help us activate the main systems. Daho felt uneasy. This is a big decision. I should report to the Alliance first. Han shook his head. There is no time. Our sensors detect ships entering the system. Not harvesters, but something else. A new image appeared, showing 15 ships approaching from the edge of the system. Vorn vessels, said Ji-hoon in surprise. What are they doing here? The Vorn were known as scavengers, always looking for old technology to steal. They came 2 days ago, said Han. They are trying to disable our outer defenses. Something guides them. Something that feels like the harvesters. You think they're connected? Asked Suji. Yes. We believe they are being influenced. Scouts sent ahead of the main harvester force. Han's face looked grim. They must be stopped, or they will alert the harvesters that we are here and prepared. Alarms suddenly rang through the station. Han's eyes flashed with blue light. The Vorn have destroyed one of our outer sensors, he said. They are moving toward the defense ring. He turned to Daho. Captain, we need your help. Will you assist us in activating the Guardian fleet? The future of all life in the galaxy may depend on it. Daho looked at his officers, then back at Han. Tell us what to do, he said. The station shook as something hit its outer shields. Warning lights flashed across the walls. We need to get back to our ship, said Daho. My crew is in danger. Han nodded. Follow me. There's a faster way. He led them down a hallway to a small round room with a platform in the center. Stand here, he said, pointing to the platform. When they did, a beam of light surrounded them. For a second, they felt weightless. Then the light faded, and they were on the bridge of the asterisk Destiny's Path asterisk. The crew jumped in surprise. Pilot Yun fell out of his chair. Captain, said Communications Officer Kyung. How did you get here? Transportation technology, said Suji, looking amazed. Instant movement through space. Han appeared on their main screen. Captain, the Vorn ships are jamming all long-range communications. You cannot contact your alliance. Daho turned to his crew. Status report. 15 Vorn ships entered the system, said Yun. They're attacking the outer defense platforms. Why would they do that? Asked Tawu. The Vorn are scavengers, not warriors. They're being controlled, said Jaihun. Han believes the harvesters are using them. Harvesters? Asked Engineer Minho. What are those? I'll explain later, said Daho. Right now, we need to decide what to do. Han spoke again from the screen. Captain, we need your help to activate the full Guardian fleet. Without it, the Vorn will disable our defenses section by section. How do we activate it? Asked Daho. The humans left 3 activation keys in 3 locations, said Han. 1 on Mars, 1 on Europa, and 1 on Earth's moon. We need all 3. Why didn't you get them before now? Asked Jaihun. The keys can only be retrieved by living beings, said Han. We Guardians cannot touch them. It was another failsafe the humans built. Suddenly, the ship's sensors beeped loudly. 3 Vorn ships are heading this way, said Yun. They'll reach us in 5 minutes. Han's face looked concerned. Your ship is not built for battle. You must hide. Where? Asked Daho. They'll track us anywhere we go. Not anywhere, said Han. A map appeared on a side screen, showing Jupiter and its strong magnetic field. Go here. The radiation will hide you. That same radiation could damage our ship, said Minho. I'm sending you shield modifications, said Han. Apply them quickly. Data streamed into their computer system. Minho looked it over, his eyes wide. This is amazing, he said. These shields are 50 times stronger than ours. Implement them, ordered Daho. Yun set course for Jupiter, maximum speed. As the crew rushed to obey, Han continued, while you hide, I'll transfer part of my consciousness to your ship. I can guide you to the keys. Part of your consciousness? Asked Suji. How is that possible? I am not limited to one body, explained Han. The Guardians exist as energy and information, not just physical form. The ship hummed as it accelerated away from Earth. Behind them, they could see the Vorn ships changing course to follow. They've spotted us, said Yun. We'll never outrun them, said Jaihun. A small compartment opened in the wall near the captain's chair. A glowing blue cube floated out and hovered in the air. This is a fragment of me, said Han from the screen. It will help you. The cube pulsed with light. Suddenly, the ship lurched forward at incredible speed. The stars outside blurred. What's happening? Gasped Daho, gripping his chair. Temporary fold space jump, said Han. It won't last long, but it will get you to Jupiter before they can catch you. As they sped toward the giant planet, Daho looked at the blue cube. When we're safe, he said, you need to tell us everything about these keys and what we're supposed to do with them. I will, promised Han. But be prepared. The journey to collect them will be dangerous. The humans made sure that only the worthy could awaken their final defense. The asterisk Destiny's Path asterisk hid in Jupiter's thick atmosphere. The giant planet's strong magnetic field and radiation blocked the Vorn ship's sensors. For now, they were safe. In the ship's meeting room, the crew gathered around the glowing blue cube that contained part of Han's consciousness. We must act quickly, said Han's voice from the cube. The Vorn will soon realize where you are hiding. The cube projected a 3D map of the solar system, focusing on Mars, Europa, and Earth's moon. These are the locations of the 3 keys, explained Han. Each key is a crystal containing human knowledge and commands. Why did humans split the activation system into 3 parts? Asked Suji. To ensure that no single person or group could control it, said Han. The humans were wise. They knew that great power must be balanced by great responsibility. Which key should we get first? Asked Daho. Mars is closest, said Han. The key is hidden in a facility beneath the North Pole ice cap. How do we get there without the Vorn seeing us? Asked Jaihun. The blue cube glowed brighter. I can modify your ship's energy signature to make it look like space debris, but only for short jumps. We must move carefully. Engineer Minho studied the cube with fascination. The technology you are showing us is centuries beyond anything in the Alliance. The humans were already advanced when they left, said Han, and their defense systems have continued to evolve for 500,000 years. Daho stood up. We need a plan. Who goes to Mars and who stays with the ship? After discussion, they decided that Suji, Jaehoon, and Minho would go to Mars. Daho would stay with the ship, along with pilot Yun and the rest of the crew. The facility has its own defense systems, warned Han. It will test you. Test us how? Asked Jaehoon. Each key is protected by challenges, said Han. Physical and mental tasks that prove you understand what humans valued. The crew prepared a small shuttle for the Mars mission. Han's cube provided upgrades to its engines and shields. The Vorn have split their fleet, reported Yun from the bridge. 10 ships are searching the outer system. 5 are heading back toward Earth. They're looking for us, said Daho. We need to move soon. The blue cube floated over to the shuttle's control panel and merged with it. The panel glowed blue for a moment, then returned to normal. I have given the shuttle the coordinates and access codes, said Han's voice from the speakers. I will guide you once you reach Mars. The team boarded the shuttle. Sujai looked nervous but determined. Jaehoon checked his weapon one last time. Minho carried tools and scanners. Be careful, said Daho. Get the key and return quickly. We'll be watching for you. The shuttle bay doors opened, and the small craft slipped out into Jupiter's swirling clouds. It moved slowly at first, using the planet's storms as cover. Then it accelerated, racing toward Mars. Back on the main ship, Daho watched the shuttle on sensors until it disappeared. Will they make it? Asked historian Tawu, standing next to him. They have to, said Daho. For all our sakes. Hours later, the shuttle approached Mars. The red planet looked peaceful, its surface dusty and quiet. No one would guess that it held secrets from 500,000 years ago. Beginning descent, said Suji, taking control of the shuttle. No sign of foreign ships. They landed near the North Pole, where white ice covered the red soil. Han's voice guided them to a small ridge that looked like any other. There, said Han. Touch the third rock from the left. Jaehoon did as instructed. The ground rumbled, and a door appeared in the side of the ridge. It slid open silently. How can this still work after so long? Wondered Minho. Humans built things to last, said Han, and we have maintained them. The 3 aliens looked at each other, then at the dark doorway. Let's go, said Sujai, stepping forward. The first key awaits. The shuttle flew away from Mars, a small red crystal container safely stored in a special case. Suji, Jaehoon, and Minho looked tired but happy. First key secured, said Suji into the communication system, returning to the ship. On the Destiny's Path Daho smiled with relief. Good work. Any problems? The facility was amazing, said Minho. Still working after all this time. We had to solve puzzles about human history and values, and fight some security robots, added Jaehoon. But they were just testing us, not trying to kill us. The shuttle docked with the main ship. When the team brought the crystal key to the bridge, Han's blue cube floated over to it. Well done, said Han. 1 key down, 2 to go. Where next? Asked Daho. Europa, said Han. Jupiter's ice moon. The second key is deep under the ice in the ocean. Under the ice, said Suji with worry. How do we get there? Han's cube projected a map of Europa, zooming in on a crack in the ice. There is an entrance here. The humans built a base under the ice. The key is kept there. What kind of tests will we face this time? Asked Jaehoon. Europa is different, said Han. Humans created life there, special creatures designed to live in the dark ocean. Over time, These creatures evolved their own intelligence. The crew looked shocked. You mean there are intelligent aliens living under Europa's ice? Asked Tawu. Not aliens, corrected Han. Earth life, modified by humans, evolved over 500,000 years. They are the guardians of the second key. The ship moved carefully out of Jupiter's atmosphere, using Han's technology to avoid detection. They approached Europa, a white and brown moon covered in ice. This time, Daho decided to join the mission. I need to see this for myself, he told his officers. Sujui and Tai Wu would go with him. Han's cube led them to prepare a special diving vehicle from the shuttle. The pressure under the ice is very high, he warned. This will protect you. The team landed near the crack in the ice. Using tools provided by Han, they widened the opening and lowered their diving vehicle into the dark water. As they descended, their lights showed only black water at first. Then, strange glowing shapes appeared around them. Fish with lights on their bodies, jellyfish that changed colors, and plant-like things that waved in the currents. Beautiful, whispered Suji. Deeper they went, until they saw lights ahead. It was a large round structure built on the ocean floor, glowing with blue and green lights. The human base, said Han through their communication system. But be careful. The deep mind lives there now. The deep mind? Asked Daho. The collective intelligence that evolved from human creations, explained Han. They think differently than you or I. The diving vehicle docked at an entrance to the base. Water drained away, and they stepped out into a strange, wet corridor. The walls seemed to be made of both metal and living tissue, pulsing gently. Hello, visitors, said a voice all around them. It sounded like many voices speaking together. We have waited long for you. We seek the key, said Daho. Will you help us? Perhaps, said the voice. But first you must understand. The walls changed color, showing moving patterns. Suji realized they were being shown images, the history of this place, how humans had seeded the ocean with simple life, how that life had grown and changed, how it had eventually connected into one thinking system. We are the children of Earth, but we are not human, said the voice. We guard the key because we understand what the harvesters would do. They would take all life, all thought, all memory. A door opened at the end of the corridor. Inside was a pool of glowing liquid. Your second test is not of knowledge, but of trust, said the voice. One of you must swim in our thoughts. Only then will we know if you are worthy of the key. The three aliens looked at each other nervously. I'll do it, said Sujai, stepping forward. I want to understand. Sujai emerged from the glowing pool, her eyes wide and her hands shaking. She held a blue crystal key. Suji. Daho rushed to help her. Are you okay? She nodded slowly. Yes, but I saw everything. The deep mind had shared its memories with her, 500,000 years of watching, waiting, growing. It had shown her how the harvesters had visited Earth long ago, killing the great dinosaurs, and how humans had found proof of this in ancient rocks. They gave me the key, she said. They believe we will use it well. Back on the asterisk, Destiny's Path asterisk, Han's blue cube glowed brightly when they showed him the second key. 2 keys found, he said. Only one remains, on Earth's moon. But there was no time to celebrate. Alarms rang through the ship. Vorn ships approaching. Called Pilot Yun. They've found us. How many? Asked Daho. 3 vessels, said Yun. Combat class. Han's cube pulsed quickly. We must reach the moon immediately. The lunar key is the most important one. We can't outrun 3 Vorn warships, said Jaehoon. You don't need to, said Han. The blue cube floated to the front of the bridge. Watch. Outside the ship, space seemed to bend. A small black ship appeared, the same type they had first seen near Earth. A guardian vessel, said Han. It will hold them off while we reach the moon. The black ship moved toward the Vorn vessels. It fired no weapons, But when it got close, the Vorn ship's engines failed. They drifted, powerless. What did it do to them? Asked Ta Wu in amazement. Energy disruption field, explained Han. A basic defense. Now, quickly to the moon. The asterisk Destiny's Path asterisk raced toward Earth's moon, a gray half-circle in the distance. They landed near a place called Tranquility Base, the spot where humans first stepped on the moon long ago. There's nothing here, said Jai-hoon, looking at the empty, dusty ground. Just old footprints and a flag. Look beneath, said Han. Humans built downward. They found a hidden door in the ground. It opened to reveal a tunnel leading deep under the surface. Da-ho, Su-ji, Jai-hoon, and Ta Wu went inside, following Han's directions. The tunnel led to a huge underground room. Unlike the Mars facility or Europa base, this place was full of large glass tubes. Inside each tube was a swirling mist of light. What are these? Asked Ta Wu, touching one of the tubes gently. Human minds, said Han quietly. Before they ascended, many humans saved copies of their consciousness here. They sleep, waiting. The aliens looked around in shock. There were thousands of tubes. They're still here, asked Da-ho. After all this time? Not physically, said Han. Just their thoughts, memories, and personalities. The essence of who they were. Su-ji walked between the rows of tubes. Why didn't they ascend with the others? Some chose to stay, to help if needed, said Han. Others were afraid of changing. They preferred to wait and sleep until it was safe to live again. At the center of the room was a pedestal with a space for the third key. But there was no key on it. I don't understand, said Da-ho. Where is the third key? Han's voice became solemn. The third key is not an object. It is a choice. The pedestal began to glow. Words appeared on its surface in many languages. To activate the full Guardian fleet, read Su-ji, one living mind must join with the human collective. A bridge between past and present. The aliens stared at each other as they understood. One of us must merge with the human minds. Asked Jai-hoon. Yes, said Han. The fleet needs current knowledge of the galaxy. It needs to understand what it fights for. The one who joins will lose their individual self, but their knowledge and essence will help guide the defense of all life. A screen appeared above the pedestal, showing the Vorn fleet regrouping. More ships had arrived. They were heading toward Earth. We're running out of time, said Han. Someone must choose. Silence filled the room as the four aliens looked at each other. The choice before them was enormous, to give up oneself to join with the human minds. I will do it, said Su-ji finally. I have already touched the deep mind on Europa. I understand what we face. Su-ji, no, said Da-ho. There must be another way. There isn't, she said firmly. The Vorn are coming. Soon the harvesters will follow. Someone must act. Ta Wu stepped forward. As ship historian, I've studied all known species. My knowledge could help the fleet understand what it's protecting. But I've seen the harvesters through the deep mind's memories, argued Su-ji. I know what we're fighting. Before they could decide, alarm sounded. Han's voice came urgently through their communicators. The Vorn fleet has entered Earth orbit. They're attacking the defense ring. We have minutes, not hours. Su-ji looked at her friends once more, then stepped onto the pedestal. I've made my choice. The future of all life matters more than one person. The pedestal began to glow under her feet. The tubes of human minds lit up one by one around the room. The process has begun, said Han. Place the 2 crystal keys in the slots beside her. Da-ho did as instructed, his hands shaking slightly. The red and blue crystals fit perfectly into the pedestal. Su-ji, he said, looking up at her. She smiled. Tell everyone what you found here. Tell them humans didn't abandon the galaxy. They prepared to save it. Light surrounded Su-ji, lifting her slightly off the ground. The mists inside the tubes swirled faster, and thin streams of light flowed from them toward her. For a moment, Her body seemed to shine from within. Then she spoke, but with a voice that was both hers and not hers, a blend of Suji and countless others. We are awakened. We remember. We understand. Above them, on the surface of the moon, the ground began to shift and move. Hidden doors opened in the lunar surface. On Earth, the defense ring glowed with new energy. Throughout the solar system, space itself seemed to ripple and bend. "It's happening," said Han. "The full awakening of the Guardian fleet." The three aliens rushed back to their ship. From orbit, they watched in amazement as the hidden fleet revealed itself. Thousands of vessels appeared around Earth and its moon. Some were sleek black ships like they had seen before. Others were strange shapes that seemed to bend reality around them. A few were just points of brilliant light. The Vorn ships tried to fire at the defense ring, but their weapons had no effect. Then, one by one, the Guardian ships approached the Vorn vessels. No weapons fired. Instead, each Vorn ship simply went dark, its systems completely shut down. "The Guardian fleet doesn't destroy unless necessary," explained Han from his cube. "The Vorn are victims, not enemies. They can be freed from Harvester influence." On the main screen, they saw a massive ship emerge from behind the moon. It was different from the others, partly physical, partly energy, shaped like a giant hand reaching out. "The command vessel," said Han. "Directed by the joined consciousness, by Suji and the humans together." A message came through to the Destiny's Path *. "Captain Deho," said the voice, a blend of Suji and others. "The Guardian fleet is awake. We will spread through the galaxy now, preparing all worlds for the Harvester's arrival. No life will be lost if we can prevent it." "Suji," asked Deho, "are you still? You?" There was a pause. "I am Suji, and I am more. We are many, but we remember each part. Your friend is not gone, just expanded." The command vessel moved toward the edge of the system. Other ships followed. "Return to the Alliance," said the voice. "Tell them what you've seen. Warn them what comes. We will be ready when the Harvesters arrive." Deho watched as the Guardian fleet moved out into the galaxy. Humanity's final gift, 500,000 years in the making. "They never abandoned us," said Tawu softly. "They were preparing all along." "And now," said Deho, "they're still protecting us."